What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Have faith, show love, give hope. Today I have Dominic DeSano. Dominic worked with me at the casino. You were actually my supervisor, and now you're a commentator at the local poker room, the Reserve. And you have a tournament coming up, and you want to talk a little bit about that. Can you tell me a little bit about the tournament real quick?
Yeah, it's called Salute to Service. This will be our second year doing it on July 13th. It's going to be at noon at the Reserve. We're on Glendale Avenue, right? And I believe Glendale and Reynolds Road. If you want to check it out, we have a website, Facebook, for anyone who's even watching, curious about it. We run poker tournaments pretty much every single day out through the year. There's some cash games. But the big thing, the most important day, in my opinion and a lot of people's opinion, is this charity work that we do. It started from randomly on a live show. It was actually right before Memorial Day. We were talking, we were like, you know what? I don't think like the veterans get, enough love, enough support, enough care in this country for all the sacrifices they've made. And me and Vic were talking, and he was like, yeah. And so all of a sudden, we're going back and forth on the show a little bit. Like, we should do something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, you know what? We should do something.
Yeah.
And so we literally, after that show, we had a couple of people on the message board saying, yeah, that'd be cool if you guys do put something together. Myself and Vic were, well, how about we do a tournament? We pitched this to Jim and Marissa, the owners, who were awesome, because they basically gave us the green light right away when we brought it up. Like, they had no clue this was going to come on their lap like that day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're just like, hey, we're fired up. We want to do something for the veterans. And then they were just like, what do you need?
Yeah.
And, it's great when you have owners who can basically say, okay, I can get you pamphlets. I can get you this, that, these resources to get the word out. You just let me know, and I'll put it together. So we started that all up. And what it is a tournament that's free to play. Any active duty member or veteran, male or female, can come in and play. All they have to have is their ID to prove that they, are either serving or served. And they show up. We had over $10,000 in the prize pool. It's like a way to say thank you. Have a day on us for all the sacrifices you've made. And then they play some poker. We live stream it too.
Yeah.
We wait till I think after registration's over with. And when it gets in the upper levels, when there's about probably 6 tables left, we live stream the rest so they can get on TV. They can let their loved ones know. Have some fun. And then we work with taps.
Okay.
Which is, we raised over $3,200 last year in one day. My goal this year is to hit 5K, baby steps every year. I don't want to get too realistic.
Yeah, that's good.
But we had a bunch of stuff that we gave away. We did 50-50 raffle tickets, and then, like I said, with the stuff we gave away, we had golf courses donating 18 holes, party of 4, golf cart included, and you could buy. We would charge maybe 6 tickets for $20 or $5 for one, and you can basically go around and try to win the raffle. More tickets you get, the better chance you have to win it. Yeah. And all in all, that is the tournament Yogi that I'm probably the most proud of being a part of. And the Reserve is kind of like a family atmosphere in the work area. And I'm grateful that I work with some people that are pretty passionate about it too.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's an amazing tournament, and that's an amazing cause. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, that we don't. There's not enough things that happen for, especially free. You know what I'm saying? Free tournament. It's not you're giving them a discount. Most people want to give them a discount. Right. 10% off if you. No, you're letting them people in for free, so it's awesome. And then, okay, can regular people go in, or is it just all service people?
So this is where we're learning from year 1 to year 2.
Okay.
The first year we just had strictly veterans.
Yeah.
And that's going to stick the same, and current serving members of the military. That's going to stay the same. But then I forget the exact time, which I will ask my boss Jim or Marissa. I believe it's either 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. We're going to have a regular tournament that people can come in and play. We're going to be posting this in the next week out there, because last year we had, I want to come in and be a part of the 50-50 raffles, and what you're raffling off. And some people just came in to do that last year. Yeah. But it is more enticing in the poker community when you come in and play a tournament. So we'll start a tournament probably 4 or 5 hours after this one starts, when we free up a few tables, get another one going for the general public to play. Okay. And then, like I said, 50-50 raffles. We'll be doing whatever's donated that we can raffle off to give away too. We'll be having that there. And then just general donation boxes.
Okay.
and whatnot. But we're also looking for people if they want to help out. You can call up at the Reserve. We're taking volunteers. If you're a business and you want to donate, call up at the Reserve. Especially if you're locally here in Toledo. About the food.
Yeah.
There's great food here.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you got a spot where people like to hang out socially and stuff, feel free to donate. Maybe 4 dinner passes or something.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll do our part too to bring extra people with us. To
Some
give the
gift
business
cards
back.
or something.
Yeah,
Or even baskets, like a basket with a bunch of stuff in it. you
Yeah,
know?
and for the businesses, Yogi, that donate during our live stream, we put Jim puts together a nice package on there, like basically like a screenshot of all the companies, and we hammer that because if businesses are going to help us grow this and raise money, we want to make sure for not just you and me, but for the general public. If I see a business giving back to like a charity event like this, I want to give them my business,
Yeah,
the
of
money
course.
that I work for, because
Yeah.
I know they're doing good things for the community.
Absolutely.
So if we're reaching out to all the veterans in the community and I see a business, oh, wow, they donated for that, I'm going to go there. So we think that's something that majority of the people are going to follow suit
Yeah.
with. So yeah, we flash that
That's
during
awesome.
this live stream with the businesses, and really we mention them. It's not just a list that we just throw up there. We mention the businesses, try to give them as much support as they're supporting us with this.
Yeah, and you give them some airtime and show some of the stuff. That's awesome. Okay, but what I wanted to know is like, okay, what happened? I ended up going to prison. You were the supervisor at the. We're both changing a lot. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I want to know a little bit about your change, and I want to know like when last time that I really sat down and talked to you, you were my supervisor at the casino, and then I ended up getting fired and going to prison and all this crap. So what happened with you? Where are you at in life? I know that you're a commentator at the Reserve, and I seen you on Facebook Live and all that, but I just want to catch up with you. Like, what you been up to?
A lot has changed since we were working together. I remember we did see each other a couple times afterward. We went up in Michigan at one of those charity poker rooms.
Yeah.
But I was with Hollywood for 10 years and really have nothing but good things to say about that. There's obviously when you leave someplace, you're a little sour at the moment, but those are only a few people. Overall, I have nothing but good things to say. There was a lot of people through my career. I mean, I was, there for 10 years, and at the time of my life, I was going to school. That wasn't working out, trying radio, which at the time, a lot of jobs, a lot of stations were going out of business. So a lot of experienced people were taking in the sports talk radio world, all the jobs, scooping up all the jobs that were available for entry-level people at the time that I was actually interning. And the casino business basically gave me, provided me with good benefits, a good home, a career. And so I was there at Hollywood for a little while, and some circumstances happened. And I ended up parting ways with them about a year from October. And, before that, I was kind of wondering if I needed to make a change because it was just getting a little taxing being in management sometimes too. You surround the whole vibe, even sometimes the workplace. I just didn't feel since when we came back from COVID, it seemed different, at least in the poker area.
I bet.
It just and it's not just at that property. Nationwide, really. Poker kind of was like the redheaded stepchild when they're deciphering on what they want to put their money into after COVID happened. We start getting ramped up. So we went from close to a 20 table poker room down. We got moved, went to 12, and just the whole vibe and atmosphere to me personally, like going out there, it didn't feel like a poker room to me. And there was new staff, new regulations. It seemed like every time stuff was getting cut back at the time. And there's a lot of good people that work there, though. I still have friends that work there. And,
me too.
They're doing a great job, and they're doing the best of what they can. I know Kenny's running it right now, too. He worked from the bottom up. He
was a dealer.
Management. He did it the right way. And I think he always puts in good work there. And just the timing with everything. Some things happened. We didn't see eye to eye, and then a situation happened too that I felt that it kind of turned into the blame game
Yeah.
a little bit, but it is what it is. What happened? Like I said, I wish them all well and whatnot, and wish them nothing but success. But I left there. Honestly, got really depressed. Fell into depression.
Oh, you did?
pretty hard. Yeah. No, I was
Because
really
that was your
depressed.
job for 10 years. That's all you knew, right?
It was for 10 years, and there is still a lot of people there I care about, and that room has a lot of good people that came in there. I got attached to the players.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm in a poker room, whether it's at Queen of Hearts Poker, where I started at,
That's where you
my
started.
20s.
You were a dealer, right?
Yeah, I was a dealer there, and then I actually ran it. Ed and Brenda brought me in and gave me my first experience. I'm always ever indebted.
You took me there one time, yeah.
Yeah, that's where we had fun.
Yeah.
No, it was
You
good
took
times.
me. You took me there one time. That's
$50 tournaments, you know, and whatnot, and half of it goes to charity, half goes to the owner. I mean, they have a different way of doing
this is
things.
your water too. If you that's yours, I got it.
H2O. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Just
But,
let you know.
No, it's just you know, through the whole poker field, it just kind of I got depressed because it was not the way I wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Even though I was thinking about leaving beforehand, it wasn't the way I wanted to go. And then also the relationships I had in that poker room, I just, there's people that I miss seeing every day. And still to this day, I see that every day. So I went through a time where it was pretty dark. I was pretty depressed, honestly. I didn't know, I'm almost 40 at the time. Am I going to make a complete career change? And that's what I thought I was going to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how? You know, I live by myself. I have a house at the time.
Yeah.
What am I going to do for the live comfortably? And am I going to have to start at the bottom somewhere? Most likely.
Yeah.
Just all these thoughts going on at the time, and really just almost like a panic mode in your mind. And it's always when you're by yourself. You know, when I was around friends and family, I'd be, yeah, everything's going okay.
Everything's fine, yeah.
Everything's fine. I'm going to persevere. But then when you get home and you're sitting there and you put your head up and you're just looking like this, and sometimes you're you don't have all the answers and you want all the answers, and that's where actually with me, and it started before that though. I really focused on God, Jesus Christ. And
So you believe in Jesus Christ?
I do believe in Jesus Christ, my Lord and personal Savior.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I am not. I still, in my mind, I definitely made great strides in the last couple of years of getting as an active Christian and whatnot. But in your mind, you always say you could be doing more. You could be a better person. So I keep trying to reel myself in and being like, you know, you had a lifestyle and habits that you had before that were not fitting to what you want to live. You might not be able to snap your fingers and go poof like that right away, but just keep chiseling at it. You know, he's going to be there walking with you and guiding you. And through that time when after I left Hollywood, I had like I said, it was just a really dark time, almost like losing yourself. And during that time too, I did like you know, there was even some friends in my personal life where when I started going to church again, you just kind of notice like who really cares about you. You have some people in your life that they'll say that care about you, but when things go rough or they don't agree with certain things about you, it's easier for them to talk behind your back, whisper things and whatnot. And I try to cut that out of my life too, and really, who did the Lord put in my life for a positive reinforcement? In times when I do make a mistake, who's going to be there to help me get back up and not just kind of, you know, talk behind your back and almost make you feel worse about yourself.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, some people don't.
Yeah, and it's deceiving sometimes because you really feel like at the time you might see these people on a normal occasion, and you really care about them strongly, like genuinely care about them strongly. But then sometimes you got to realize that it might not be. It doesn't go both ways for every single person in your life.
Yeah.
And that's Yogi. I'm sure you've been in that situation.
Of course, man. I've been in all
It's
that.
gut wrenching at times.
Yeah.
You know, everyone thinks when you have to let go of a close friend or something like that, you know, that you're just like, oh, screw them. I'm fine. They weren't good for me. But at the same time, you know, there's times where you're like, you know, that person I cared about.
Yeah.
You know, I still wish that, you know, him or her well.
Yeah.
But they weren't good for me in the long run in the lifestyle I wanted to live. I want to try to put a little bit more positivity in my life where like I said, when things go bad, you need those people that you can lean on and be like, you shouldn't be doing this, but I know you're better than that. Let's
try to get you on the right track.
Yeah. So
not veer you off.
exactly. Exactly. That, like I said, it was a big growth time in my life where I just kind of had a reality check on like what's important, getting closer, putting God first in my life, keeping family close in my life, and then those friends that are like families. And trust me, when that happened, where I left, I realized real quick on who reached out and who was there for me and made sure I was okay.
One thing that I know that when I worked there, you were always really like happy to be at work. You were always the nice boss. You were always the happy go. You know what I mean? Like you never had like this attitude. You were always cool. Sometimes your suit was a little wrinkled and it looked like you was just
a single guy.
Yeah, it looked like you just had woke up. But when you got there, dude, you was happy. You were good. You were like, to me, you were always one of the best supervisors I ever had. You never like bitched at us. You never scolded us. You were like, I always noticed that. And this is when I was, I was a little younger when I was I was in my 30s, 30, 32, 34 when I started. I was younger. You were probably younger than me at that time. How old were you when you became the boss there? 10 years ago or whatever.
When I was in the management team, and like we said, we had our whole crew.
Dustin, when it was Dustin, Billy,
Chris, and Travis.
It was Ken Lambert.
Ken was running the show but yeah, I was in the management. I was part of that team. I want to say 2000. About nine years ago.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
So how old were you?
In my low 30s.
Yeah, we were on the same age. I'm 44. How old are you?
I'm 40.
40. So, but I was a little young. I was a little older than you. But I always noticed that you weren't like Ken Lambert and Billy and Dustin. Those guys were like acting like bosses. You know what I mean? You were like the boss, but you acted like a regular guy. I used to love that about you, bro.
I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah,
it means a lot to me.
You were like down to earth. We could talk to you. We could like relate to you. You were like one of us, even though you were the boss.
I did not expect that, and I really do. That honestly means a lot to me.
For real,
I try to do that on a normal basis. A management team in anything in life has different people a part of it, and it's almost like a basketball team. You have your role of you want your tough defender, rebounder. You want the guy who's running the show, like with the Pistons. You had Chauncey Billups running the show. You had Tayshaun Prince making everything smooth. Everyone out, and that's kind of like what the team we had. I know, sometimes Dustin would be a little hard at times, and Billy maybe a little bit more than me. But at the same time, when you have a management team, those are necessary pieces at the time. And actually, one of the guys who I think I just talked to the other day, I talked with Dustin, and he's one of the people, after I lost my job, really called me, made sure I was okay.
Oh, is he?
And said, hey, I appreciate the time, even though I'm not there currently right now, because he moved jobs before I left. But he basically reached out, and just a class act, honestly. And he always has my back. But he actually, I think, out of all managers that I've worked with, you talk about from when I first started working with him, and you watch someone improve. The people skills weren't necessarily.
He wasn't.
When I first came there, honestly, me and him butted heads a little bit, but we always got over it a day later. Though that's the one thing I always respected about him. Even when I worked with him, I said, sometimes we butt heads, but the very next day, we could put it past us as men and move forward. And by the time he left, I saw a guy who got married, who really worked on his just his people skills as a manager, and it was day and night. You weren't there at the time.
No, I wasn't.
But I gotta say, it was really amazing watching someone like that. Where when I first got there, and then by the time he left, I was sad that he was leaving.
He was amazing.
I was like, wow, this is a guy who I trust and I worked with, and I thought he did a great job, and he's leaving. And,
what happened? Where did he go?
He ended up going on the almost hit that.
He
ended up going on the East Coast with Elliot, who was the poker manager at the time. They left shortly after COVID, and they had a great opportunity. And then he now, just this week, Elliot took a spot. Actually, I saw Elliot for the first time in a couple of years, got breakfast with him.
Yeah.
He's excited. He's going to San Antonio to open up a room where not just poker, but he's in charge of like the whole gig. Like he's in charge of like a general manager.
He's the dealer, the old dealer, Elliot?
No.
Oh,
no, not
maybe I don't know Elliot.
Yeah, you don't know Elliot at all.
Oh, okay.
No, he was the poker room manager.
Oh, okay.
And he's going down to San Antonio doing great things, opening up a room there where he's in charge of like not just poker, but like the restaurant, the bar, like a general manager position. And
that's
now
awesome.
Dustin got the poker room manager spot, which I actually called him on the way here to wish him congratulations. And we were playing phone tag.
That's awesome.
But yeah, to get back with what happened out of there, all of a sudden I thought I was done with poker.
Yeah.
That being said, I dealt since I was like 25. I went through a charity room to Columbus, to Toledo, worked my way up. I got in the seniority I wanted. And when things happened, I just basically said, I'm done with poker. I'm burned out by it. I don't want anything to do with it. Had a few months off, and then got someone reaching out for the reserve saying, hey, we got a holiday tournament coming up. Would you want to check us out and help out a little bit? And I said, yeah, I'm looking for a job right now, so I'll come in and check it out, help you with the holiday tournament. And Tim Yeager was there, and he was a big part of getting me in that, where he was commentating.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, I went to school for this.
That was right when they started the lives and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think I came and looked at it in December. I didn't start working there till February, but I looked at it in December, just kind of getting a feel of what's going on there. And I believe they started the live stream like literally in September. So they were only up and running for a few months. And got to talk with Jim and Marissa, and at the time Steve. And I liked what I saw there. It's a very even like the dealers there and whatnot, like Daniel, John. I mean, there's a group of guys and girls there, Kara, Patrick, Thomas, all those guys. I mean, there's more I could name off, but yeah, there's a good group of people that I work with there, and it's a very it's a laid back family atmosphere, but at the same time, we have some huge tournaments that it gets busy, and we're like, all right, it's game time. We need to get things done, and we need to rev it up. Switching gears, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, take your job seriously, have fun, but we got a mission that we're trying to accomplish at the reserve, trying to be the best poker destination for anyone to pick in the whole Midwest.
Yeah.
And that's what we're set out to do.
And it is, too.
I honestly believe in my head it is. There's other good places.
You know what it reminds me of? Sorry. You know what it reminds me of? Remember when Ken Lambert was like at the poker, at Hollywood Casino, he was trying to run all these tournaments? That's the reason why I got fired. This dude ran so many tournaments that I couldn't keep up with the phone,
You had a hard task.
Yeah, dude, I had so much things like Ken Lambert had. Remember, he took out all them he had tournaments out there in the floor
It was unbelievable. He was bring in like extra tables on top of the room.
He was driving me crazy, and I was supposed to, get everybody into the tournament, answer all the phones, get everybody their chips. Like, I had $5 variances, $40 variances, and I got so many variances that I ended up getting fired. And that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when Ken Lambert, they don't even have tournaments at Hollywood Casino no more.
They're focusing on cash right now.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't been in there since I left. Like I said, still wish everyone.
For sure.
No bad vibes there. There's a lot good group of people there. I'm on a different thing with the reserve where the ownership there, Jim and Marissa right now, treat me great.
So how did you end up getting the job?
So they asked me if I just wanted to go back there and do a show.
Yeah,
I didn't need to get paid. I just went there and I was like, okay, this will be fun. One of my buddies is the commentator.
Because you used to be in radio, so you know a little bit about this, right?
Yeah, that was my passion. I interned for 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit. For the Mike Flenny and Terry Foster show, which those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, when my internship ended, it was a time where 1130 was another competition. They went out of business at the time, so a lot of the jobs just got scooped up right away with guys who rightfully deserve them, that were at other competition radio stations that did good work. So I kind of veered off, got in the poker business, and it kind of took a back seat. So when this opportunity rose with, and like I said, it's amazing how the good Lord works sometimes.
Yes.
I was like, I'm done with poker.
Yeah.
And poker is a passion of mine.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the game of poker. I love everything that it brings. But Jim and Marissa started this live stream up live at the Reserve on YouTube.
Yeah.
Cheap plug. And,
No, it is. I mean,
we have shows every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And then when we have big tournaments like this weekend, we have a 100K guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
We have $1 million guarantee tournament also in August.
what?
Yeah, 200,000 guaranteed for first place. Yeah, no, it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But they brought me in, and I just fell in love with it right away. And I even told myself though, when I go to a place and when I want to work, I want to give it 100%. And I wanted to make sure I gelled with the people who work there, and obviously with the owners. If I didn't get along with Marissa and Jim, and at the time Steve ended up leaving just a little bit ago, did fully retire. Jim and Marissa took the place over with just them. But I got to give a shout out to Steve too.
Yeah.
He treated me really well
Yeah.
when I was at the beginning. But Jim and Marissa, if I didn't get along with those guys and if I didn't trust them, I wouldn't be there. I can actually look at them and I can say I trust them when they talk to me, if I ask questions and whatnot. Sometimes I troll Jim a little bit on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, and I might critique Marissa about her being bougie about her food when we're discussing what to eat. But all in all, they're great people. And, I get along with them great. They got a great passion for poker. Jim's the type of guy that'll put himself first but stay behind the scenes. He doesn't try to get on the show, but yet he'll be putting all this time, like putting pamphlets together, professional looking pamphlets for the veterans tournament, doing all this work, and it's a thankless job. Because I always respect with the owners, because here's two people who they have a staff, and no matter what job you can do, there's going to be one person maybe sometime that gets the raw end of the deal, even if you're trying to make it good for like 20 people. But then, you know, you always have that one person that might complain because it didn't go their way and whatnot. But it's impossible. You're a human being. They try their best to have a great atmosphere for every single worker there. They try to make as much money for every single worker there. And like I said, the amount of time that they put into that place, if you would have seen what it was before and how it looks now with the paintings that they have.
I haven't been there.
Really?
Dude, I've been there, but before you even worked there.
Okay, no, you got to go in now.
I haven't been there in a long time. I want a tournament. I know I haven't seen any of that.
Phil Hellman.
I've seen it like online.
Yes.
But I've never went there
Beautiful
since they had
New
that.
carpet, the live stream room. They put the when you see them put their time and their resources into something, you know they're passionate about what they're doing. And like I said, that's why I want to be a part of this team going forward. And I'm hoping that's something big. I think we're going to be moving most likely in the next year because we're just getting too big.
It's too big for that little spot.
When we have these big tournaments, and I do think if you're going to start running big tournaments every 5 to 6 weeks, you got. The boat's not big enough. You know, it's like Jaws. We need a bigger boat.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to like move into to the casino.
Yeah,
or
like the daily things. It's fine with the room we have now. When you're running the normal daily tournaments, and even on Fridays we get 10 tables, 12 tables for our tournament. That's fine. But I mean, for our big tournaments, we're getting a reputation. And we're getting now Fort Wayne, Indiana, Chicago's a hot spot, Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton, even. Shout out to Mad River too, which is a card room that we work with this Millie, and it's how it should be. 2 card rooms working together to give the poker community something great. But we have basically a whole Midwest poll right now. We have these big tournaments, and it's cool to be a part of it.
Yeah. So how many tables are there?
There's 17 right now.
17. You guys are gonna have to move and get like 30 pretty soon.
I think we need, if we're gonna move, we're gonna try to get 50.
50?
I honestly think like maybe we'll keep 40 up. 40, but like the space to basically set up where you can set up like 50 tables for some of these big tournaments. Jim gets crazy sometimes. He'll focus on something and get in.
And they're amazing, man. Like I've met them both a few times when I first got out of prison. I went there a couple times. This was before you worked there. It's like 4 years ago. I heard about them and I was like, man, let me go check that out. And I ended up getting into a first tournament I ever got in. I split the pot with this lady. Then I went another time and I never won again. I went like a couple more times, but that was before the live stream and all that. But they were amazing people, treated everybody great. And you can see that that's going to be a great thing one day.
Absolutely.
Just the way they are and the way they are. So you did the free show. You said you did a show. It was they didn't even pay you, and then you fell in love, or did they just offer you?
They and Jim and Marissa said, yeah, if you want to do this, me and Tim had some really good chemistry, and so we started up, basically rock and rolled all the way, got it off the ground. Vic too has been a big part of that. I was doing shows with Vic, and also sometimes Adam Sugg.
Yeah.
Even Josh Black, those guys step in now. Tim left for another job a few months afterward, but then Vic and myself are pretty much the full-time personalities now with, Vic and me have a different relationship on air than me and Tim. I think I mess with Tim a little bit more. We've known each other longer.
Yeah.
But Vic does get a professionalism. And I was kind of wondering, okay, I have Vic, who I love as a guy.
Yeah.
Love working with him. Respect the heck out of him.
Yeah.
When he came in, though, I'm like, it's just, it wasn't Tim at the time. How are we going to joke? We did a couple shows together, but it was never consistent. I'm like, I'm going to be seeing this guy now as much as my family.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing 3 shows a week with him. And at first, it was, a little bit different because, a little bit different age gap and whatnot. So we came in different eras.
Yeah.
But the more shows we got, I see his work ethic and whatnot, it started to get easier and easier. And now I consider him a close friend. And really, that's where the whole thing comes at. It doesn't matter your background, your age, what genre, if you grew up in a 90s kid or an 80s kid or a 70s kid. I think once you get that personal level outside of work with someone you work with, and I know some people say, oh, you got to keep working this separate. But when you're doing a show together, and you're talking, you have to have that relationship. And now I can actually say I care about this guy, and I don't just know him and I think he's cool. I got to, and now I can mess with Vic, and now Vic can mess with me. We can have that good banter back and forth on there. Even trolling sometimes. If one of us slips up and says something that was weird or off the wall, we can troll the other person. We know we'd almost look at each other a little bit differently and be like, well, why didn't he jump on that? That was a good opportunity. Shots fired. So we have fun. He's passionate about it. This live stream is giving me new life with poker. If I don't make it here with the poker thing, I will probably switch gears. But I plan on, I would like it if this works out where this can be my full-time job and whatnot. I'm giving it my best right now. I've been with the reserve. It was at last February a year. I told myself I'm giving it. I want to give it at least 3 years. And the way they're growing, I definitely see myself with it. I could get a good 40-hour job. Even if you can't commentate the whole time. With whether it's dealing, helping out. Sometimes I filled in a few times when they need management done for flooring. But no, it's just it's a cool place to work. I'm definitely excited about that. But the big thing is it helped me get out of that depression, which we talked about earlier. I had a little bit of purpose. I had a little bit of excitement. And at the same time, I actually met my current fiance.
Oh, you did?
Like at that time too. So it kind of started going full circle where spiritually I was getting better. Relationship wise, where I've been single and I have dated, but I haven't gone over a 6-month relationship, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Oh, for real?
And I do think part of that is the casino business. It's such a fast-paced lifestyle, gambling, fun, drinking and whatnot. It's not really where I tried to meet sometimes people there and dated and whatnot, and I don't know. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but I'm just saying the odds are normally it's not the spot. Some of those people, if you want to kind of try to wind down, a lot of people like fast-paced lifestyles with that atmosphere. Now, a lot of people will meet someone with those same interests, and that's great for them. But for me at the time, I was kind of looking like, all right, I kind of want to settle down, attempt to try to have a family, and kind of change. Now that I'm getting close to 40, get in that next gear in life. And so started at the reserve, started dating Judith.
How did you meet her?
So her sister and my stepmom Amy worked together. And all of a sudden, my dad was in there picking Amy up from work, and Judith, I guess, was shopping. And then they basically said, "Oh, that's a cute girl over there. Who is she?" And basically, "Oh, that's my sister. Her sister Maria. That's my sister Judith." And we go, "Oh, well." we have a son, Dominic, who's what's around the same age, and we're a year apart, so we're right in the same wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And needless to say, we basically, she's like, "Oh, he's cute." They showed a picture of and he goes, "You can give my Instagram." She didn't do the phone number, which I respect.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to give some guy you don't know your phone number.
Yeah. So she said, follow me on Instagram.
She said, give him my Instagram handle, tell him to message me, and we'll go from there. And so I messaged her. And then it was funny. We talked a little bit, not much back and forth, and it kind of went cold. Because I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of online feel to me. I don't know if I'm digging this. I've tried the online thing before now, even though
you still wanted the phone number, be able to talk.
I wanted the old school. I wanted to meet someone in person, get the phone number, slip the digits, call the next day and whatnot. But it's 100% true though. That's what you envision in your mind.
Of course.
Someone. But no, so we started talking a little bit, and then all of a sudden I started actually, her stories is what got me back to wanting to talk to her more. She would take furniture. She's got like 500,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and then like another 500,000 on Facebook, and then like another couple 100,000 on like TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
And what she does is she finds furniture like in Southwest Detroit in these areas where these homes.
Yeah.
Or if people have furniture, old classic like early 1900s furniture, she takes them and she refurbishes them and makes them look brand new again. Bro. And she'll videotape the whole process. So
that's so awesome, dude. I love that.
I was interested. I'm watching these, but the thing is they're all in Spanish.
Oh, are they?
I don't speak Spanish.
But, she's Mexican?
Oh, she's 100% Mexican.
Oh,
grew up in Mexico. She came over to the States when she was 12, 13.
Oh,
grew up in Southwest Detroit. Yeah, so she's been went to school in Detroit area. So I'm watching these videos and I can't understand what she's saying, but I'm like, I could see the passion. Sometimes when you take away words and you look at different mannerisms, it can capture someone in a different light. And I saw the passion she was at her job, her facial expressions, how happy she was doing it, and the work she was doing. I was like, there's something drawing me to her. I was like, wow, this is...
So you were following her stories like on Instagram.
I was just, when you get bored and you go through all your friends' stories,
I do that.
Each other, and I would always see her story pop up every night. And I would see a new project she's working on. And
that's
then I started noticing... when it was one that was a couple days, when it would take her like a week, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the progress of it. I saw it from the beginning. I want to see how it ends. So, that's it. And so I sent her this message, and I basically said, hey, I know I've been slacking, but it was almost like I love watching your work with these projects, and I would like to get some. And I purposely said, hey, let's get some lunch. I didn't want to try to do dinner where I'm trying to take you out, and I have good intentions. Let's turn it back. Let's take things slow. Let's get lunch. Just meet for an hour, see how it goes. And she agreed to it. So we talked a little bit before, and then for a couple of nights, give a call for a little bit. But then we met for lunch, and all of a sudden, now to this day, engaged. Marriage is September 21st.
Wow, man!
Coming up.
Congratulations,
man. Appreciate that, man.
Congratulations.
Like I said, and it's one of those things where you go from losing your job, being depressed. Haven't found, going close to 40 where you have to take a time to realize, look at yourself in the mirror. Be like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. Because you can't always blame every other person you dated. There has to be something that you're doing wrong.
Absolutely.
Even if you have good intentions, even if you are trying to do the best thing possible, there has to be something that's not working out. And I did that, and it's crazy. And I got a job that I enjoy. A girl I'm in love with.
Wow.
And now we got a second house, that we're working on too.
That's awesome. Sometimes we think that everything's falling apart, but God is really putting everything together. Sometimes, like you were like having this like depression or whatever. You lost your job or you quit your job, whatever. I don't even know what it was, but you were like, oh my God, my life is falling apart. Where am I gonna go? But look, it took you right back to like the radio, the poker. You meet the girl of your dreams. Like you think everything's falling apart, but really it's all falling together. The Lord is showing you there's a better way. I thought when I went to prison, when I lost my job at the casino, I thought everything was falling apart. I went to prison 5 years. My wife left me when I called. that she slept with her boss. Prison for a reason. Sometimes God is trying to show to go, but we're being resistant and we're trying to hold back and we're like not listening to him. So he's like, you know what? I'm about to sit this boy in the prison real quick so he can listen, or I'm gonna make him lose his job real quick, or so he can listen to what I'm trying to tell him what to do. I want him to straighten up. I want him to fix his life, and then I'm gonna put it together.
Yeah. It's like everything's crumbling at the time, but maybe it was the stuff that was crumbling that really you were in the wrong spot in your life, like you said. Maybe all those things that I thought I had figured out that made me comfortable because I had financial. I was never rich, but I was solid middle class guy. Didn't have to worry about my bills. Had a little money saved up, and had my own home. Lived by the beach. Still live by the beach, and so I was in a comfort bubble. But it wasn't where I needed to be. And like I said, you hit the nail right on the head right there. Sometimes the good Lord just shakes it up for you. And wakes you up. And I think I know I need to keep climbing. I'm not where I need to be yet.
Of course.
I would like to be more active with him. I would like to also not falter at times where you go to prayer and you're like, Lord, I'm trying to live this lifestyle, but I fell into this again. I had these thoughts. I did these deeds. Like why am I still doing this when I'm going to church, when I'm trying to make myself a better, person for you as my God, but also for the woman I'm in love with, for my family, for my father, my mother, my brother. All my friends that know me, like why am I still? I want it, but I'm still sometimes having these weak moments where I'm thinking the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. But like I said, I try to put it in perspective where I'm just like, you're not perfect. God will help you through those times. Don't think you're going to just snap your fingers and all of a sudden everything's going to be fixed.
Of course.
So I see myself getting better, is not just career-wise, but as a man. I see myself getting better and better each day. And I'm going to just trust in him. Sometimes I just want to be like, take the keys, Lord. Whichever way you go, I'll go. And that's the way it should be, because like sometimes we don't know the answers, but if we give him the time and space, he'll guide us the right way. Like I was being told, change the name of the podcast, but I wanted to keep it Big Yogi's Garage. But the Lord was like guiding me, not physically telling me, but I could feel it in my heart. Change the name. Stop making it all about Big Yogi's Garage. Stop making it about your egotistical ways. Give it a different name. And look, I gave it have faith, show love, give hope. And now look, I got Jesus Christ pulling Peter out of the water. You know why? Because Peter didn't want to. Peter, he came out the boat and he started walking on the water with Jesus. But then he's got scared and he stopped believing. So he sunk in and Jesus picked him up and said, hey, dude, you were just walking on the water with me. Why'd you stop believing in me? Right. So all we have to do is believe in him, have faith in him, have faith that his ways will get us there. Show people love. You always have, but I'm saying show people love, care, affection, respect, and the Lord will guide us the right way. And I'm just learning all of this, Dom. I'm not 100% sure on everything I'm saying, but I've been reading a little bit about it, and I know that if we show a lot of faith in him, that, like you said, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect, and you're not perfect. The only one perfect was Jesus Christ, and he died for our sins. Right. I make mistakes every day.
Every day, me too.
Every single day. Now, I will always sometimes be a little stubborn and think I'm not making mistakes, but I make mistakes every single day. And that's, one thing that I even had to adjust to, too, is when you're trying to change your lifestyle, when you're trying not to become what you were, 3, 4, 5 years ago even, and because you've fallen off that path. I was turned to a holiday Christian. I grew up, my dad was a pastor growing up, and then, you almost get cocky. My parents got divorced when I was in 4th grade, so he stopped being a pastor, but he was always active in the church. He just, went a different way after the divorce, but he was always very active in the church. My mom, always very active in the church. So I had 2 parents that were always active in the church, and you get this egotistical thing in your mind Well, I grew up, I learned about the Bible. I heard about it all the time. I'm strong. I went to youth group. Devil can't get me. Devil can't touch me.
Yeah.
I'm too strong with the Lord.
Yeah.
And isn't it amazing? When you look back, that's the stupidest thing you could probably ever say.
Yeah.
Or think or feel. It's arrogance.
Yeah.
And that's what I was full of, arrogance. Because then I laid my guard down. All of a sudden I move away, I move to Columbus. I start going out more, partying more. Come back to Toledo, try to settle down, but I'm not doing the things to settle down. I'm talking for my personal life to attract the right woman. I think a lot of times the way you live your life, if you want to put your life all around gambling, drinking, and whatnot, that's what you're going to attract.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to bring to raise a family? To be around your mom and dad, your sisters, your brother? Most likely not. I'm not saying there's not some people who can do that, but
Of course.
for me, that wasn't for me at least. So it's just amazing how the good Lord can bless you. And like I said, sometimes he just needs to kind of cuff you on the side of the head and be like, hey.
Yeah, dude, I did not know that we would even talk about God. I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, I'm going to have Dom on. We're going to talk about poker. You know, he used to be my boss. But I had no idea that you even believe in Jesus Christ.
Oh, I was excited to talk about Jesus
I didn't
Christ.
even know. And
I saw your name change.
But like we set this up when it was Big Yogi's Garage.
Absolutely.
So then I changed the name and I was like, oh man, I hope he's not upset. Not that they would be upset, but I was still going to have the interview, but I did not know that we were going to talk about Jesus at all.
I gained so much respect for you because I think Christians in general need to not worry about what's going to happen if you put Jesus in there in his name. For one, that's what you should do. You should give him all the praise and glory.
Of course.
It's in the Bible. Everything that we have is because of him. But nowadays it seems like people want to twist things with Christians. And they want to make it sound like just because if we don't believe in certain things that the world tells us now, that we're evil or, you know, that we're bigoted. They attack you on social media for it. They just because you don't want to conform to everything, that you've had these beliefs that have gone for centuries. And they think, well, in the last 10 years, these things have changed, so you should change your religion of centuries and the word of God himself.
I don't believe that.
And I don't believe that either. I will never have any hatred toward anyone.
Me neither.
I will never tell anyone they can't do anything because we live in America, the greatest country in the world. That gives us freedom to live the way you want to live. But that doesn't mean I have to agree with you.
Of course.
And there's a big difference. Like, in a lot of times, the sad part about society now, Yogi, in my opinion, is if you have a Democrat and a Republican, let's take for an example, and I have friends that are on the opposite side.
Yeah, me too.
But like that
on both sides.
My views. I have both sides, but I'm talking about from the side that I have. Nowadays, it seems like people can't even be friends. You can't even have a disagreement or a conversation. Friendships get lost. When we talked about friends, you know, when I had to make changes and stuff, I had a group of friends that just because I didn't believe in the same things, I was getting talked about, trolled, and it's just like, I'm not doing this to you. I might disagree with you and tell you, but you're taking it to another level. And the sad part is you're saying you're not taking it to another level when you're the one doing it. I just kind of. It got too much, and that's the problem with society now. It seems like if you disagree, you just have to be bitter enemies or something. That's not how it used to be when our parents were growing up. People didn't ask everyone who they're voting for. That was a private matter, a respected matter. But also, if you disagree with someone, have a conversation, but still respect them when it's done.
Of course.
Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean that they're this, that they're that, or whatnot. You know, it's same for Christians, like, though, too, vice versa. If a Christian disagrees with someone, I don't think a Christian should be like, well, that person's evil, they're going to hell. Now, you may even think that in your mind and whatnot, but you should not treat that person like that. Just like if a person that's non-Christian should be like, they're messed up for their beliefs. I don't believe their way. They're trying to brainwash me. That's what maybe a non-believer would think. But they should have more respect for a Christian. Even think two sides can talk. Two sides can still have respect for the other.
Culture and all that crap. So
not a fan at all.
dumb, dude. Me neither. Because I can easily not agree with you, but I can still respect you, love you, and care for you.
Exactly.
And I'm not even the type of person that's like, oh, because you don't believe what I believe, you're going to hell. No, I just think like whatever. I think my way is good, and then your way is whatever. I don't even like have opinions on people's ways. Even when people do like whatever the LGBT or whatever, all that kind of stuff. I just don't like that kind of stuff, but I'm still loving and caring and respectful. I have people around me all the time that are and that kind of stuff. I just don't agree with it always being like every movie you watch has to have two guys kissing or like that kind of
Push
stuff.
down your throat a little
Yeah, like I don't like that kind of stuff, but I don't have no problem with anybody, and I treat everybody with love and care, and I hug them and I treat them fine, and I don't have no. I just don't like that stuff like pushed in our faces every day, all day, through the politics, through the TV, through the it's like force feeding us that. Like you're sitting there watching a movie with your son and just like just chilling, and all of a sudden they have to have a scene where two guys are kissing or two girls are that kind of stuff. I really don't like all that kind of stuff, but I'm not gonna like, I don't put it out there. I don't really say nothing. Might be the first time I ever talk about that kind of stuff at all.
Oh yeah, no, I get it, but like I said, I have family members, I have close, I have friends who are,
Me
are
too.
from that community and whatnot, and like I said, I maybe I don't agree with everything of your lifestyle, but at the same time, flip it vice versa. I doubt they agree with everything about my Christian lifestyle.
Yep, and exactly.
And they still accept me for being Christian.
Yep.
And they would probably be like, I don't think Dominic, I don't agree with this, and this, but at the same time, they still care about me.
Yep.
So, and I still care about
And that's
them.
how it should be.
And that's how it should be. Are you going to agree with everything? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But should that change your relationship and whatnot? I as a Christian, I want to show love any way I can. Now, I'm not going to though be a rollover and say I'm going to agree with everything that you do. But at the same time, I'll stand my ground when I have to stand my ground. But at the same time, I'm sure if you believe in something passionately, you're going to have to stand your ground.
Yeah.
So like I said, it goes both ways.
It goes both
But
ways.
like I said, the whole thing is even like politically with the Republican, Democrat, Libertarian. It's such. There's so many topics. You know what I mean around this nation that I just think there's just no real talking anymore. Everyone wants to text. Everyone wants to throw out, a Facebook or Instagram post to diss somebody or whatnot instead of actually having a real conversation.
Yeah.
Instead of, if you and me are brothers and I offend you, now you'll see where brothers, sisters are even going on social media and they're putting their family business out there where average Joe that just met that person at the grocery store, they might have talked about a cold beer that they liked that they had in common at each other, seeing your personal business. Instead of just calling that person, saying, hey, I didn't like what you said. I think we need to talk about this, either at least on the phone or can I come over and talk to you in person? The way it should be, the communication. The lack of communication today is just something that frustrates me, quite honestly. Whether it's
crazy.
in the workplace, whether it's in with your family, whether it's with your friends, everyone wants to put their head down. What people are eating, breaking bread together. I think you should take that time, put the phones away. Ask the person who you're eating with that obviously you care about. Ask how their day's going. Talk about sports. Talk about fishing. Talk about the weather. Anything.
And that's why I love this podcast.
We can talk about it all, baby.
Because every single week I sit down with a whole different person and I conversate with them. Because all week long I don't talk. I'm working. I'm on my social media. But once a week, I sit down with one different person and I talk and I have a conversation. And that's why I love this podcast.
I love it too so far.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having this.
Yeah,
podcast.
for sure. Like, cause imagine if I didn't have this, then I would be just like on my phone and just like even you having that live every week, or 3 times a week, right? You said you go
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights live at the Reserve on YouTube. When I started there, we had 400 subscribers, and now we just got over 4,000.
Dang.
So we're getting, and I really think like 5,000 is like the big one.
Yeah.
Like when you hit 5, you can get to 10 quicker, and I think 10 is when you can start making some noise.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you're almost up to 1,000, right?
Yeah. I got 1,500.
You got 1,500.
Yeah,
right
on
now?
this. Yeah.
You got. I must have mislooked at something.
Yeah,
So you got
yeah, no,
1,500
yeah.
already, and you just started this out. You're
No, I've been doing it for almost 2 years.
That's new.
But also I had 629, and the day I changed, since I changed the name, it's only 2. Not 1,500 and something. For 900 new subscribers since I changed the name.
Amen.
Yeah. But yeah, once you hit a little celebration, I think the algorithm picks it up. It's like, oh, he's excited about 5,000. Let's get him to 10,000 even faster.
Hey, I'm hoping for that.
Yeah.
I really do love what I do with that podcast. You talk about the audience talking to people. We have a great thing on the show where the message board.
Mm-hmm.
What we try to do on that poker show is we try to be the most active show with the people who watch.
Mm.
We have limits of 1-3, 2-5, 5-5, 10.
Mm-hmm.
These are limits that you see in your casino or your card room locally.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to market to where the person who loves the game of poker, who truly loves it, who likes to watch the stakes that they can play, that's what we market towards. And then we have big tournaments.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, with the message board there, we try to come across where while the show is going on, myself and Vic, and even sometimes, like I said, Adam or Mr. Black step in. We're reading what everyone's saying, and we're interacting over the microphone with the message board while the poker action is going on. Because your viewers are the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. The players, the commentators, the dealers, the owners. If you're going to start a podcast or a poker show on YouTube, you're nothing without the viewers.
That's it.
So I try to get them as active as possible, and I want them to feel a part of that. And honestly, make a poker family. Because, I mean, what we're doing with this veterans fundraiser, that's just a testament of the poker community in the Toledo area. And not just the Toledo area, because the reserve is big. We have people from Southeast Michigan, Indiana, all over Ohio too, like the Cleveland area, Dayton area, Columbus area that are donating toward this. But the whole poker community that's coming together for a good cause, raising money for veterans. So it's an exciting time. But with that show, we raffled off a couple shirts, poker shirts. In the last few weeks with some of the players that played like Buddha and MGM Bob. And they're characters. These guys are characters. Now they're great people and great poker players, but they're characters on our live stream. They signed these, and each shirt sold for over $1,000 because people knew that they were going to the prize pool for the veterans that have a good time.
Oh, that's dope. All right, tell me about your merch, because you just said shirts, and you just reminded me that I wrote that down on that board. Tell me a little bit about your shirts.
Okay, so
because I know they're like sayings that you say all the time, right?
It's not just me though.
It's not just you.
One.
But didn't you start one of them?
I started
at the casino.
Okay, so. The reserve has a swag shop for the reserve. Okay. Jim and Marissa always have cool gear if you want to support the reserve.
Okay.
It's there. And she has a wide range of stuff. Got to give a shout out to that. And
Absolutely.
by the way, if you want a nice hat, check out the reserve. The whole thing is, got this going on. I the gym about it.
Yeah.
He first ever prize pool tournament while running a live stream. So I was kind of coming in there at a time where it's like this guy's only one guy.
Yeah.
So I basically said, hey, if I get some stuff, can we use it and sell it in the store? And he goes, yeah. So him and Marissa gave me the A-OK on that. And I'm like, if I can sell it at the reserve, then I'm good.
Yeah.
So I took out some money, and there's this hand called King Jack, which is my nemesis.
Yeah.
It's the biggest fool's gold hand in poker, in my personal opinion. I
think King Jack?
King Jack, I think, gets you in the most trouble because people can get married to it. And it's always sharing with bigger kickers when you get in an all-in situation in tournament play.
Okay.
I'm not saying don't play it at all, Yogi. Some people over-exaggerate, and I do kind of fluff it on when I'm on air a little bit hard.
Yeah.
But I treat it like a 10-9, a 10-8 because I won't get married to it. But so that's my hand that I hate the most in poker.
King Jack.
King Jack, the nemesis. So we started coming out with these hoodies. All of a sudden, the hoodies started selling pretty good. We made like 50 of them. There's probably like 5 left right now.
Wow.
So we sold like 45. I'm like, oh, we're getting a good response from this. And this is fun. It's getting I believe word of mouth is huge.
Yes.
So if I can get people that are willing to put their dollars in to wear our merch and then they go play at other places, it could create a conversation. Then they can start talking about the live stream.
Yeah.
And we can grow that way.
Yeah.
So then when I saw that, I took out my own personal money. Whatever I made in profit there, I just reimbursed myself because I took about $1,000 out of my own personal bank account.
Yeah.
And now every single shirt we sell, minus one Chinese food meal. I will admit that I used a hoodie one time. I did get a Chinese. We were talking about, we got to be honest. I did sell one hoodie and got free Chinese one time.
Yeah.
But other than that Chinese meal, 100% of the profit I just put basically in my sock drawer. And then I reinvest it into the next one. And if we make anything over that, they cost like $250 for someone to design it for.
Yeah.
So I just take that, put it for that, and we're free rolling now. So we have a max value one, which is the one you're probably thinking about.
Yeah, that's your isn't that your saying from like a long time ago?
So it started the shirt has been made for a couple years. It started as a joke.
Okay.
Terry Dale,
yeah.
AKA Wilt Dale.
Yeah.
Local legend in the poker area.
Yeah.
Made me the shirt.
He made it for you?
He made me a shirt, not the exact one we have, but the picture of it. He took a shirt off my Facebook and made it like a Max Payne type vibe. A picture of me, and just put max value. And I thought it was hilarious. I'm like,
and that's something that you would say at the poker room, right? Max
even
value.
when I was at Hollywood before, I always said max value.
I remember you
Always
saying that a
value.
long time ago.
So when I started going on air, I started using max value a lot as my catchphrase and slogan because I want to do something that you truly believe in.
Yeah.
I don't want to say something that's fake.
Yeah.
And when I thought a guy got max value,
Yeah.
I wanted max value.
Yeah.
So I took Terry's shirt, basically added the reserve stuff to it, and then put our YouTube on it so people could see it.
Oh,
and I put that out. That's out there now. We also have Vic, who randomly on a show got extra fired up of a big poker hand, extra excited. And he just randomly said, "This is unadulterated poker, live at the reserve."
Yeah.
The kid, you can play checkers at the corner. Go to the bingo hall down the street. We're playing poker here.
Yeah.
I need to take a water right now, real quick. So he says this.
Unadulterated poker.
I look at Vic, and I'm dying inside. I thought this is great, and I just said right away, this has to be a shirt. So we took. Do you remember the parental advisory sign on your CDs in the 90s?
Yeah.
It said parental advisory.
Yeah.
We took that. I took a picture of Vic with a big Cuban cigar in his mouth.
Okay.
We put Vic in the middle of a parental advisory logo.
Yeah.
It almost gives a straight out of Compton vibe. And then we put unadulterated poker live at the reserve on it.
Wow.
And then it's got our YouTube handle. So me and him had some fun with it too, where we got the commentators having a swag. We got our favorite hand.
Yeah.
And then brewing, this is like the first time. The new one I think is coming in August or September that I want to get. We've been talking about it. It goes with max value. And it's also strange for poker. So I'm getting to know these people a little bit more. I'm inviting them on my social media. I said, "Hey, Dominic DeSano, look me up on Facebook. I'll add you if you're a fan of the show.
Yeah.
I'd love to get to know you more."
That's awesome.
And so I'm getting to know some of the listeners on a personal level too, even just about poker. And I've even said max value is a poker term that I use all the time.
Yeah.
But I use it with my family. My nieces get tired of me saying max value. If they do something good in their sports, I'm like, that's max value. They're like, "Uncle Dom, not everything's max value." I'm like, "No, it is." So I started on the show a couple episodes ago. Basically, me and Black were sitting down, and I said, "You know what? Max value, it's right before Father's Day." I said, it's not just max value, it's a way of life, not just a poker slang. And I want to get the max value mafia. I'm going to get like the old school NWO style wrestling shirt.
Yeah.
I want to make it the max value mafia. And I even want to put not just a poker saying, but a way of life. And on the message board, we were having our listeners basically call. And we had Larry D from New Jersey who was watching, said, I had max value. My daughter surprised me from North Carolina and drove up here, surprised me, knocked at my door and to celebrate Father's Day with me. And we're like, that's max value.
Yeah.
You know, another gentleman was like, I just got homemade stuffed peppers from my mom. I'm drinking a glass of wine and I'm watching Live at the Reserve right now, relaxing. We're like, that's max value. So we're going to start the max value mafia, where it's not just poker, but a poker same, and it's going to be on there, not just a poker same, but a way of life.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to be a part of our poker family at the Reserve.
Yeah.
But I also want you to use that max value slogan as just appreciating every single part of your day that sometimes you may take for granted, but realizing you're squeezing every single max value moment, whether it's hanging out with your parents, whether it's seeing your niece or your nephew, whether it's seeing your daughters, the woman you love, the man you love, whether you're just taking a bike ride. It doesn't matter. Let's not just make it a poker saying.
Yeah.
Let's make it a way of life. So the Max Value Mafia is going to be coming hard at the end of summer or early fall. And I'm hoping to sell more of that swag. And then we'll have the Live at the Reserve on it still. But that one is going to be the most fun, I think.
Yeah,
that we've had.
That's awesome, man. I like it. I seen it. When I seen it, I still have to go to the. It's just like work a lot. I want to go to the Reserve. I want to buy one of those shirts. I want to wear it. I want to put it on my social media.
Will you wear the Max Value?
Oh yeah,
on
for
the
sure.
Podcast when you're interviewing someone else.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that.
Right.
Yeah, and then one day I want to go there. Because I actually want to sit down with you for a couple minutes and just like sit there and talk about poker.
I would have you on.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be like one of the big tournaments or nothing, but like one of those like Wednesdays or something, and just or whatever.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: even if we have a show, like Vic has done like things with music and stuff on there with guests, but like if you ever wanted to come in just even for like 20, 30 minutes,
yeah, I would like to do that.
Vic or myself, if we ever get a guest randomly sometimes, and we've had also other poker room people come in. But if you want to give it a go, and I know you're a fan of poker and whatnot,
I love
even
poker.
plug this, your podcast.
Yeah,
you could come in and call to action with me just for and give Vic a break.
Yeah, that would be cool. Just give him like a little lunch break, and then
and
just
if you want to divide it up, where you could be with Vic half the time, me half the time, you can even get a little bit of max value with two different people on there. Because Vic's great. I mean, Vic is definitely the opposite of me though in certain aspects. He's has such a professional voice, and he's very hardworking. Very organized. I admire him a lot in such different ways, and I think I'm a better worker in person, working close to him so often because of what he rubs off on me, and it's amazing. Because
so you became better because of him.
Yeah, honestly, everyone partially. I mean, even Tim, who was there. Tim, I was more. What I had with Tim was we had the same interest, and I like trolling Tim more. Oh, yeah. So he didn't like old school wrestling stuff being told. Vic will blow it off, so I don't get a rise out of Vic. Even though if he doesn't know it, I can't get a rise out of Vic that way. Yeah. Tim, I would get underneath the skin. So I would poke the bear even more when I was on there just to mess with Tim. Like talk about Razor Ramon and early, Texas Tornado and Hulk Hogan back, eating your vitamins, saying your prayers, brother. Ultimate Warrior shit.
Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Yeah, Jesse, I loved WrestleMania 6. One of the best lines that myself and my brother enjoy sometimes when we watch old school wrestling now and then is when the Ultimate Warrior was running down to the ring and Jesse the Body Ventura was up and saying he's making a mistake wasting all this energy because he's about to compete for a world title shot. And we're dying laughing. We're like, look how hard Jesse is selling it right now. He's talking about the Ultimate Warrior making a mistake running to the ring, and whatnot. So,
I don't remember all of that stuff, but I do remember when I used to watch it was like Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake, Macho Man, Randy Savage, the Junkyard Dog. I remember that kind of
Paul
stuff.
Bear, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, the Undertaker, my Undertaker.
Yeah. I don't remember all that stuff, but I do remember some of it. And then what I was going to ask you is, okay, so when you go to the when you first started there, did you notice that a lot of people were from the players, like the same community, same people.
And I love that.
Yeah, because it's like
people I missed.
They already knew you. They already like, hey, look, Dom's here. What the heck?
No, I missed a lot of those players.
Yeah,
a lot of those guys. Honestly, I'm not, and I'm trying to be as genuine as possible when I say this. A lot of those players I've met in the Toledo area, I like as people. If I talk to you, I like you. And that means if I see you out, I would have a beer with you.
Yeah.
I would break bread with you at the table.
Yeah.
And that was part of when I lost my job. I was depressed.
Mm-hmm.
You go from seeing your normal staff that you're running and your dealers that you've grown to care about, and you see these people that you come in that you're used to talking to every single week, and then they're just gone.
Yeah.
Like that. That was tough.
That was tough.
During that time, I remember, though, too, kind of rewinding a little bit. Like, I got to give a shout out to my brother on here.
Mm-hmm. He was there for you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
My brother, no. My brother Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
There's been multiple times in my life, whether I've lost a friend early through cancer or something really bad has happened. He's a busy guy. He's a single dad, takes care of his stuff, has 2 girls that he's got 50% custody, and he takes them to every practice. He's active. He lives over an hour away from me. He'll stop what he's doing if something's bad, and he'll come down and be there for me, at least for a night. Just when it's initially hits.
Yeah.
And he would make sure, invite me up and stuff like that, and be like, hey, what are you doing? I'd be home down.
Yeah.
So I got to give a little,
Shout
since we're
out.
talking about all this, my brother Antonio, he's a, second best thing is a brother. His best thing is a father.
Yeah.
His best quality is how he is as a dad.
Yeah.
He loves my nieces awesome. But,
And those are your nieces, the ones that I see every once in a while on your
Alexa and Gianna,
Facebook and stuff.
yeah, they're active,
Yeah.
and Noel too. Noel, when he got his marriage, Noel was 2 years old when Sarah and my brother met at the time, and then some things happened. It didn't work out with them, so they got divorced. But Noel was 2. I mean, I don't get to see her as often, but I still care about. I mean, I helped. When she was 2, 3, 4, at the time, doing a bunch of family activities. I was babysitting them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll always be family to me.
Yeah, every once in a while I see you like posting like it's their birthday or something.
Yeah, but Alexa and
your
Gianna
little
are like
nieces.
yeah. I don't have kids of my own, and they're like the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
I love those girls.
They're like your daughters, kind of like.
Yeah, I honestly.
They're your nieces, but
they're my nieces,
you
but
love
I
them.
love them like daughters. So,
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
they put so much joy in my life. We have a really good relationship. I try to go to as many basketball games as I can. I've coached them with my brother.
Okay.
My brother called me one time, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing on Sundays?" I'm like, "I can drive with us." So me and my brother, this is like 2-3 years ago. So they're like 8, 9, 10 now in that range, and this was like 3-4 years ago when they're like 7, 6, 8. We were getting after it in practice. We're making sure these girls are not giving up baseline. They're boxing out. They're moving the basketball. We wanted to at week 1 we were behind, but by the end of the year we had a goal. Our basketball team was going to be the most improved.
Yeah.
And we didn't even practice offense. We just practiced defense because we said if we stop them on defense the way kids are, it'll turn into offense. So
Yeah.
we would practice defense all the time. Communication, boxing out, not giving up baseline. And
That's
it was
awesome.
a fun time.
That's awesome, man. Your brother's like really important. I have 2 brothers, and I know how important it is to have a brother. I'm usually the one that steps up and does something for my brothers, but it's really important. Is it your brother's your older brother?
No, I'm actually the oldest.
You're
So
the oldest brother?
I was born in '83. My brother was born in '87.
Yeah.
And then my sister was born when I was in 6th grade, Danielle. And she's awesome too. Danielle just graduated. I want to give a shout out to her too. She graduated South Alabama engineering.
Dang.
And this is a woman who came out of school, took a couple of years off, tried to do it the other way, realized it. You know how much harder that is when you get out of your study habits?
Yeah.
Came back, went to South Alabama, and now she's an engineer. She's
Wow.
killing it. She just went to Germany,
Yeah.
like for work. I was jealous because I'm half German, half Italian,
Yeah.
and so she's got my mom's side in her, and so she's German. And I was
Yeah.
like, man,
That's
I'm jealous. I
awesome.
said, you got to represent the German side though, and try a couple of those beers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so proud of her with what she's done with her life in the last few years, especially, and can't be more happy for her. And actually, I'll be seeing her and Sierra coming up here visiting me for my wedding.
Yeah.
And looking forward to seeing both
That's
of them.
awesome.
And my mom and Mike are coming up, and Yeah, it's gonna be great times.
Yeah, she's gonna be an engineer. She's gonna be like, "What are
She
you?"
is now.
She's like, "What are you doing? What are you? You're doing poker still?"
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, big bro.
Yeah.
You know,
What I was thinking is, dude, you should really do that. You should really start a fantasy football podcast.
well, I also would like to get someone dedicated and motivated to do it though too, and I know you like to do it. So
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I could really like. I would have to like really like learn. I haven't did like full.
I got a question for you. Could I get nosy real quick?
Yeah,
if,
go ahead.
If you and me split this, if I set up a corner over there, how much is this a month?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm willing to do that
enough.
because the thing is, my wife is supposed to start a podcast
Okay,
here.
that's fair
But I'll tell you the honest truth. This room I pay $450 a month for it, and it's all by square footage. So it's $13 a square foot. I don't know, 13 cents a square foot. I don't know.
Okay.
But there's an office right there next to my office, and they're only charging $163 a month.
See, that's awesome.
And it's right there, and you could like be my neighbor.
How much does this cost to get going?
The whole podcast and stuff. Well, I'm doing this. This is wireless microphones, which are $299. None of that's hooked up. That's all for show. Like I'm doing all of this. So that camera is my phone, right? That's my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm running these wireless microphones off my phone. The only thing I have to.
iPhone?
No, that's a Galaxy
I got a
S22, whatever. Same, like it's like some Samsung.
Okay.
So I'm actually running this just off wireless
For
microphones.
$1,000, can you start this up? Do you think?
Yeah, for sure. That's my phone. And then what I have to pay for this office, I pay for this office, and then I have to pay for my editing because I have graphics put on here, and I have to make a thumbnail and stuff like that. But if you really don't,
Do you know anyone that does? You know someone that does
Yeah.
that? How much is that per episode?
it all depends on what all you need him to do. But I have it right now. He's charging me $150 per episode, so I pay $150 a week for my editing, and then he does whatever I ask him to. He puts music on there. He puts like he'll put like that flyer you sent me. I'm gonna have him put that flyer in there. I'm gonna have him put your name on there. I'm gonna have him put like a logo and some graphics and some music, and say we said something that really I didn't really want on the podcast. He would cut that out, and he would go in and do all that stuff. So, but when he first started, it was $15 an episode. But now he runs my whole channel. And the more I put on him, the more I paid him. The more followers I got and the bigger that my podcast got. Even though I don't make any money, I make more money throughout my job, through my cleaning business. Mm-hmm. So as I grew with my cleaning business and as I needed him to do more things, I ended up paying him like $25 a week. And then I was like, "Hey man, I need you to do this." And then he writes the description, he makes the logo, he makes this and makes that. We're on, and I just wanted to keep going and talk, you know.
Oh yeah, no.
But I stopped because I wanted to check. Because one time I did a podcast and it was like, dude, it was like an hour podcast that we talked. And when I went back there to look at the phone, it was black. It didn't record. Like it only recorded 15 minutes.
I was about to say, I was like, was it working? Did it overheat?
Yeah, no. Everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah. So no, what I was thinking is like you could do that. All you need is like. I started this in my garage. That's why it was called Big YOGI'S Garage. Right. You can start in your living room. All you need is your phone and some wireless microphones. And then you need to talk about what...
I love fantasy football. I've always wanted to get one going.
Yeah.
So.
And then, like, all you got to do is start one yourself, right? And then as soon as you start it, you put a few episodes out, people are going to be like, "Hey, let me get on there. I'm a Lions fan. I want to get on there with you." And one guy's going to be like, "I'm a Steelers fan. I want to get on there." And then you can have guests. Also, like you can do like what I do. You can talk your fantasy football, but every week have a different guest, because then it gives you more opportunity to like, you know, you're not stuck with just one person every week, the same person.
I agree with that.
Because if it was just me and you talking about the same fantasy football stuff, no. One week you have a Steelers fan, one week you have a Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
1 week you have this, and then all you have to do is just get it going. And where don't you live in Toledo or what?
I live in Luna Pier.
Oh, Luna
Close.
Pier. So it's right over the border.
Yeah, I'm exit 6 on 75. Like Toledo, downtown Toledo's like 15 minutes. Well, normally it's 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Our overpass right now is shut down.
Oh, okay.
So it takes an extra 10, 15 minutes to go anywhere south right now. I can go north fine, but south it's like driving to work takes me 45 minutes extra.
Yeah.
It's normally a 25-minute drive. It's a 40-minute drive now.
Yeah, because what I was thinking is because of you're growing through the poker room, right? And you're getting followers and all that. You can easily just say, "Hey, I also have a fantasy football," and then just like have like a spin-off show for yourself that doesn't have to do with the poker and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
and then and then you can also do let's say you do football during football season, then you do baseball, you do college football, you do this, you do that, and you can have just a sports show. It doesn't even have to be fantasy football. It can be Dominic's sports show, like, or whatever. You can come up with your own name, Max Value, whatever you want to call it, the Max Value Show.
Right.
And it can be all sports. Remember the where you did the internship? Mm-hmm. What was it called?
I was at 97.1 in Detroit.
Isn't that like a sports show?
It's actually like the #1 sports channel in Detroit.
Is it?
Yeah. It's just been years. It was like when I was 25. So, I mean, Terry, I still keep in contact with. Mike. I'm sure if I saw Mike, don't get me wrong, he's killing it.
Yeah.
Mike Vlenny is killing it out there. He's a cool dude. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Gave me an opportunity. Went to a live taping with my dad. They were at a bar doing a live show. Mm-hmm. And I basically went there with my dad, asked him if I could become their intern, and Mike was really cool about it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, you could do it. You just have to do your own thing. Because like that, you can never, like that, like once you start it, it'll start growing. And then you can say like anything goes wrong with the poker thing, you always have your own radio, your own show, your own sports show on the side. And
I love doing it.
It could be once a week. You can take all the stuff that happened throughout the week and just like put it out on, Monday, I put this one out every Saturday.
Right.
So I record on Wednesdays, and then every Saturday you can record on, like, let's say Sunday you find out who's the winners, who's the losers. On Monday you can record, or no, let's say Tuesday, because then there's like Monday night games and stuff. Tuesday night you can record, and then you can put the whole recap of all this week's sports. Mm-hmm. I think it'll be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
It's not against it at all.
Yeah, because then you have your own thing, dude. And you can have your own spinoff. Like, you can just have your own, like, your own sayings through the sports thing. You can have your poker thing and your poker shirts. And then you can have your football and your...
Yeah, the poker thing is really just being a part of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just thankful I'm part of the team. Because it takes so much. Like I said, you have Jim, who's like, I nicknamed him the Wizard of Oz. He goes by Wizard of Odds, but he's still I just called him the Wizard, basically, the Wizard of Odds, but the Wizard.
Yeah.
Because he invested and he put it all together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you got our producers who are back there. Gio right now helps him run it behind the scenes. And then you have all the dealers. They have the headset on and they're communicating to us in the back.
Yeah,
And then you have myself and Vic, and then Adam and Josh Black also are helping when they fill in if we need vacation time or can't make it in. So we have like a 2 regular commentators plus like 2 other guys that are mostly dealing, but they love doing it from now and then, and they help us out. So that's like a different beast. Like if I ever did the fantasy football, that would be more like whatever I envision.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now I'm thankful at just being a piece of the puzzle.
Of course, yeah.
But like we have a pie, and we all have like a responsibility of this pie to make it work.
Yeah.
I would like to get something.
That's like a whole production, dude.
Yeah, I would like to get something with the sports where something I'm passionate about, but it's something I could thrive in.
Yeah.
Because if you do something that you don't feel like you're working at,
yeah,
that's a blessing.
That's a blessing. Like this, dude, I do this by myself. I have the editor, but no one comes here. This is just me. Yeah. I don't have no that computer right there doesn't even work. I don't have no Wi-Fi. I don't have no production team. I just set my phone there, and then I have a conversation with you. And then when I'm done with this, I download it all and I send it to my editor. And I have one phone call with him, and I tell him how I want it. And I send him the pictures or whatever, and then that's it.
And then he just kind of cuts it up. So if you get like an hour and a half of time, what do you try to make it around an hour?
No, I just
You roll with it.
All of this is going on there, unless we say some bad thing that we don't want on there. But no, I don't chop it up. I don't chop none of this stuff up. I just go. If it's a 3-hour conversation, it's a 3-hour conversation.
Hey.
Because the thing is, I don't want to change the words that we said. This is a great conversation that I had with you. This is something that, okay, we haven't seen each other in years.
It has been a hot minute.
I haven't seen you in years. Like, I went to jail like in 2000 whatever, and I haven't seen you since, dude. I've seen you on Facebook. Yeah. I see you every once in a while on Facebook.
Like I said, we had those few times when we got to play poker.
No, but that was that's when I worked there.
No, I'm telling you, I don't think it was when you were working.
Yeah, dude. When I worked there, dude, this is before. Yeah, when I worked there, one day you told me about Queen of Hearts, and you took me to the Queen of Hearts. You were the supervisor, and I was a poker room host.
I did not realize. I thought you were not working there when we went there though, because you.
No, I might have got fired. I might have got fired by that time because there was a point where I got fired for variances, and then but I still hadn't went to jail yet.
I'm pretty sure it was in between that.
Yeah, It might have been there.
I remember I wasn't seeing you on the Norm, and then I got a hold of you. I think through social media to see how you're doing.
Yeah, it might have been that.
And then I invited you up to play.
Yeah, it might have been that. It might have been that.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, I haven't seen Yogi. I remember coming up there and be like, Yogi's going to be out there. I think I was talking to like Shane.
Yeah, I remember
something
that.
like that. We had a good group of people.
Yeah, that might have been it. But after that, I went to prison, and I did almost 4 years, and I've been out like 5 years. So we haven't seen each other like in about eight to like 8 years. So if you started working at the casino like 10 years ago, we only seen each other for like 2 years, and then I ended up going to prison and getting shipped off and then getting out, and I've created all this business. I've created my business and my podcast, and this is the first time we sit down in so many years, and I just kind of wanted to get to, let's just talk about it. Let's talk about where you've been, how I've been, and kind of just like, so I'm not chopping it up and I'm not cutting out,
I was curious how you worked that in, because I know some podcasts have like a certain time frame that they want everything in, where they're like, hey, I want it to be in these parameters.
I don't do that. I don't do that because I feel like what's more important is the conversation between me and you. And I really, I love my listeners, and I want them to enjoy the conversation and all that. But I think it's more important the conversation and the vibe that me and you have here going on.
Right.
And I think it's more important like getting to like catch up with you. And I think it's more important like for me to like learn about your new job and the poker room and learning about the reserve and everything that you got going on. And then
tournament.
Yeah, like
I got to do a cheap plug with that one.
Because that's what I really want to know about. Yeah. I don't like. I'm not trying to have a viral moment. I'm not trying to get that I got you moment. I'm not trying to say nothing that's gonna make anyone mad. I want to have an honest, cool conversation with you. You reached out to me, and because the thing is, I've seen you online, I've seen you with the tournament, but I'm just so busy with my business and me promoting this and me doing this podcast that I haven't had time to actually reach out to people. And a lot of times the people I reach out to, because I want to conversate with them, they end up canceling on me. So I wait for people to actually reach out to me a little bit, and then kind of like, okay, yeah, like you really want to come on the podcast? Like, okay, that's dope. Like, let's talk about it. And then we'll come up with a date, and then because once you show me your interest, that makes me think, okay, he's not going to cancel on me.
Should never cancel on somebody. At
Some
least give
people
them a
do
notice.
though. Some
At
people
least give
do.
them-
Some people cancel on me same day, and like
Same day would be.
they have me waiting here and stuff, and they don't show up. But
I was texting you to make sure,
Yeah.
I was like, hey, GPS is 6:03. I was trying to
Yeah.
get here 10 minutes early, but something
That's
must
cool.
have happened. I don't know
I
what's going on
appreciate
with
that.
Toledo traffic, but I try to get everywhere 10 minutes early.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And then you text me, like I think I text you yesterday. You text me right back, like, so that's cool. I love that because that shows me you're interested. You wanted to come on, and I know that you're not going to cancel on me. The only thing that had me a little nervous was like, oh man, now I changed the name. Maybe he's gonna be like,
I
oh
love the
no.
name. I love the faith, love, and hope name.
Yeah.
Because it actually literally, when I saw that, if I ever do anything like that, no matter what I want to do, I want to incorporate Jesus
Okay.
going forward. Because, like, if you asked me a couple years ago, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to keep that separate from my
Yeah.
podcast and stuff like that. Or, like, if I have a thing, but I mean, I might have a sports slogan or whatnot, but
Mm-hmm.
I like to do something to kind of incorporate a name. Or, like, if we get donations, let's say, you know how on YouTube you can,
Oh yeah.
people can donate to you.
Yeah.
At least get maybe take 25% of that and maybe donate it to a Bible mission.
Yeah, like a charity or something.
That maybe in other countries that it's hard to get Bibles where they're illegal. And they have to basically almost smuggle in bubbles to get the Bibles to get the word out.
Yeah.
Maybe do a charity like that to just
That's
try to-
dope. That's dope.
that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, something like that.
Something along the lines where it
Yeah.
helps.
Even if it is a sports podcast, you can always have like something. Maybe you sold shirts, 5% goes to a Bible charity or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because then you're still you're not making it all about God, but you are also showing God that some of this stuff is going towards
Yeah,
Him.
if I'm going to do a sports podcast and it's not about, God at that time, I still want, if I bear any fruit from it,
Yeah.
I would like to give back to Him.
Yeah, that'd be
Help
dope.
spread the word, basically.
That's
That's
fine.
probably something that would, I'd probably take 25% of the donations.
Yeah.
Let people know, okay.
Now you're giving me good ideas because that's something I could do, right?
Yeah,
Like even
absolutely.
if I had shirts that said shirts that say I'm over here. I can't even remember our own podcast name. Have faith, show love, give hope. I can make shirts like that, and then a percentage of that can go to a charity or to a local church
Yeah.
or something like that.
I think it's important to always stay humble, and whether you raise $100 or you raise $10,000, put it towards some place in need.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that's why the veterans thing hits home to me.
Yeah.
I got family my grandpa passed away, served in Korea.
Okay.
So my uncle was in the Navy. I mean, I've got friends and family that are both been in the military, and I think with the Lord, there's so many missions basically going on to try to spread the word of Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
It always needs money where it can, because I mean, you just need to provide the resources for some of these people to be able to eat, be able to get to a certain location too for travel, and whatnot to make it possible. So,
Yeah, that's dope, man. I if you ever have that sports show, I would love to be a guest on it, for sure. I would love to be I would be I'd wear all my Steelers gear, and we can talk about fantasy football or just football in general. And I would love to be a guest. I think you should do that. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate you so much for coming on the podcast. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up? Or did you want to plug? Make sure you tell everybody the reserve, where can anyone can follow you or follow the poker room or anything like that.
Yeah. Closing. Definitely want to give a shout out. Well, first, since we were talking about Jesus Christ, I do want to give a shout out to Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
first,
absolutely.
Before anyone.
Yeah.
Because He's helped transform my life, and I am not where I need to be yet. I'm still hungry to become the best Christian I possibly can. But it's a process, and I'm going to keep striving forward. I want to get more dedicated, even start doing something in the church.
Okay.
Even if it's once a week, going to a Bible study or something like that. That's where when I talk about there's certain things I'm hungry to grow in Christ more. And I'm kind of frustrated with myself. I haven't with different things like, why aren't you doing that by now? You know, so, but those are the things, but I got to give a shout out to Jesus Christ. He has given me everything that I've asked for. Just, I have to remember sometimes it's on his timeline, not mine. And it's his way sometimes and not mine.
Yeah.
I think as humans, sometimes you question the Lord when it's not on your standards, on your timeline, on your, you know, is it accommodating to you?
Yeah.
And but no, with the reserve though, where I work now, yeah, check us out. We have a Facebook page, and then the Reserve Poker Club. You can put that on Facebook.
Yeah.
We also have on YouTube. This is, and that gives, the Facebook gives you more of like the information with the tournaments, the cash games, our day-to-day stuff, and our big events. But the one that I really want people to check out right now, because we're on YouTube, it's quicker. Get on Live at the Reserve on YouTube. We have shows every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Tuesday, Thursday.
We are
Saturday.
growing that channel. And trust me, that's even more important to me than the Facebook one, because I'll be able to just tell you over that what we got going on there. Trust me, we promo our, so if you go on there, hit that like button, you can be on the message board asking me, and I'll give you all the information live that you need to get in there to get your fanny in there and play some poker. And not to mention, there's good people. I'm telling you, there's some great people that play poker there. It's a good atmosphere. It's fun. You don't have any jerks. We make an announcement, Yogi, before every tournament. If you're going to be a jerk to any staff members or to any players, we do not give a warning. We will pull up your chips and we'll ask you to leave. We'll pull your chips out of play and you'll be asked to leave for the day. Poker is a game that you should have fun with. You should conversate with. You should relax with. Granted, there's money.
Yes.
But it's a healthy competition. It should be, at least. Some people don't make it that way, but it should be. And the poker community there, I'm very blessed to be a part of, and I'm looking forward to this, especially this next year, as I think we're going to be growing bigger and bigger and bigger.
So is it rare that someone gets kicked out like that? Their chips?
Rare.
Yeah.
Most
I
people,
figured that.
Well, we don't serve alcohol.
Okay.
You can't. We don't have a license.
Yeah, no
And
liquor license.
That's great.
That's awesome.
We don't have to deal with the guy at 1 a.m. that had too many,
It's the best thing there is there.
Exactly.
No alcohol. Because at the casino, every once in a while, you had that one guy that's just like, oh my God, please.
Yeah, they had a little too many tutti frutti shots at the bar, and he's starting to slur a little bit much, not know where he's at exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. But no, we got that. There's also our $1 million guaranteed tournament. I would like to
That's
put out
coming
there.
up, right?
We got 1.8 million, between 1.6 and 1.8 million, just because I'm on the live stream and I have or this podcast and I got the lights on and stuff. For some reason, I'm forgetting the exact number, but 1.6 and 1.8 million, it broke the record for biggest prize pool in Ohio.
Wow.
On our last one earlier this year. I think we're going to hit 2 million this time.
Yeah.
And there's satellites on Tuesdays and Thursdays that you can play as low as $60. Could get you a $600 seat, and you can literally have a minimal for first place is $200,000.
Wow.
That's
that's just if it hits $1 million.
We're guaranteed $1 million.
That's what I'm saying. Guaranteed. It's going to go up
I
over
think we're
that.
hitting $2 million.
Yeah, because if it hit 1.8, 1.6.
I think it's going to be between $300,000 and $400,000 for first place.
Dang.
I know. Life-changing
That's
money,
crazy.
my friend.
Yes, sir.
Life-changing money. So, no, it's going to be a good time with that, with the reserve. Let me see. Also with the big event coming up July 13th, which this, I'm assuming will be up before then. That's our veterans tournament.
this will be up before.
So for every veteran or current man or woman who is serving in our country right now, active duty member, if you're seeing this, please show up at the reserve on that date, July 13th at noon. It's free to play. All you have to do is bring your ID, the show that you served or you are serving, and we're just trying to raise money for a great cause with TAPS. TAPS is an organization. It's a charity that helps families who have basically gotten, sometimes veterans or active duty members don't make it home.
Yes.
And they reach out and they help the families. Not just financially, too. They do that. But they also set up programs, too, if they need someone to talk to. They hire people that'll have phone lines that they can call. Or sometimes you can just go out if you really need somebody. They're there, hands-on, around the nation, doing the best job possible to help some of these families not just cope with the loss there, but also what that'll bring to the future financially, emotionally, the whole 9 yards.
And this is an organization from Toledo or from all around the world?
It's the United States.
Oh, but they have like a little section here.
Yeah, and they have a website. You can check if you put in like TAPS Veterans and put it in Google webpage.
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
pop right up, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have a great webpage. You can check everything out. You can even donate on there if you want to donate.
Wow, that's
but,
awesome.
but I will say, if you're going to donate in the near future, come in the reserve and donate.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to hit at least 5,000 in one day. We had, like I said, around 3,300, I think, in year one, and we kind of threw that together in a month and a half.
Oh, yeah.
This one we started a little bit earlier, and I really want to hit 5,000. I want to have a realistic goal. If we go over that, I'll be elated. And then, like I said, eventually I would love to get this thing down the road. Let's say year 5 or something like that, hitting like 15, 20,000 in one day for this sucker.
Yeah.
And when we get in the new building, wherever that may be, when we have more tables, I would love to have like a 25 table veterans only tournament going.
That'd be awesome.
I'd love to get news there, sharing the good word, and just I want to make sure these guys and gals know that served our country that they're appreciated.
Yeah, yeah.
And I truly appreciate them, and so many of us do. And they just deserve a day to come in and play some poker.
Yeah, do you guys reach out to the news stations for this?
Yeah, so Scott Sands actually he's on all the Toledo radio stations. He does. I'll be doing a couple interviews with him.
Oh, very cool.
Yep, and he helps me. He's the one who reached out to me last year.
Oh, okay.
And I know once we're getting closer and closer. It's usually closer around the time within the next.
Yeah,
weeks,
like a week
He reaches
before.
out, and he got me on twice last year.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
So yeah, and TAPS now this year too, because it's not a last minute. They're putting our logo, our basically our fundraiser, basically the flyer on their website too. So you talk about target audience for
Yeah,
veterans.
that's awesome.
You should get a lot right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, I'm hoping that this thing just blows up. I want to get some positive news out in the world. Now let's look at the community rallying together and raising some money for veterans. And
Yeah.
I think we need a lot of that.
Yes, sir. I think so too, and I'm gonna promote it. I think this will be out like not this Saturday, but next Saturday, because I don't have any other podcast besides.
Perfect.
So it'll be out.
And the sooner the better, because July 13th is coming up. So.
Yeah, it'll be out. It'll be out before July. It's gonna be like the July 1st. What is this weekend? This weekend is like the 20-something. So it'll be like right around like June 30th or July 1st. This podcast. So today's gonna be like July 1st, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know exactly what date, but hey, man, I appreciate you so much. And then
Appreciate you.
where can people follow you? Is there do you have a Facebook page?
I have Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Dominic Paul DeSano. If you want to reach out, I do. I put pretty much all my work. It's funny. I used to use Facebook for mostly family
Yeah,
and friends.
but not no more.
Not no more. It's changed. It's changed from when I was in my 20s. So now I kind of keep that toward Instagram. So if you want to follow me or get a hold of me, even if you want to be a part of, if you just got any questions for poker, if you got any questions about the Veterans Fundraiser, you just want to join the poker community, Dominic Paul DeSano
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Yeah, because I see you have like the tournaments, you have a
Yeah, I
lot.
pretty
You
much
still
use it
have
for
a
work.
family stuff every once in a
I'll put my
while.
family stuff in there once in a while.
But it's like a lot of the poker stuff in there.
Yeah, I pretty much use it for work now.
Yeah.
It's kind of transformed. Instagram for me is kind of more for my family and stuff like that. 'Cause
Okay.
It's just pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I kind of used to always use Facebook for, but now Facebook I like to put all the videos and stuff out there in our live streams that you can check out.
Yeah.
And you can go on there too if you want to check out last year's Veterans tournament. Want to get a feel for it? If anyone's listening, see how it works out. We have that one. Our whole library of every live stream we have is on YouTube.
Okay.
So you can just scroll. Now, granted, you're gonna have to go a year back.
Yeah.
If you just scroll down, eventually you're gonna get to the Veterans
see it.
fundraiser. Yeah.
So
you'll see
this
the
is the second annual,
second annual.
and you're gonna do this every year.
Every single year.
All right.
And I'm hoping to get it bigger and bigger. I got the ultimate victory cigar of Poker Vic with me on this. I
Yeah.
got the Wizard and Jim and Marissa are great, and then the whole staff has been awesome. And the poker community. We've already raised a few $1,000s for the prize pool.
Yeah.
So can't say enough about the poker community in Toledo. And
So
School times.
so it's all through money that you raise. That's how people are gonna win money, right?
Yeah, we raise through donations.
Like 3,000. You said 3,000.
We try to get around $10,000.
Yeah.
We like to make it where it's like 3,000 for first place,
Okay,
2,000 for first place, and have like a $10,000 prize pool.
That's
We hit it
awesome.
last year,
Yeah.
and we're gunning to hit it this year. So that's the goal.
Yeah.
And yeah, time will tell. But like I said, there's a bunch of ways that we're gonna also raffle off things and have prizes. We raise money now for the veterans to have fun and just have a relaxing day, and then we go for the charity work on that day.
That's
It's
awesome.
like a two-step process. Two different things we're raising money for.
And you manifested all this through a conversation through one of your lives.
Yeah,
And then all of this came out through it.
right.
That's crazy. That's beautiful. It's amazing how the Lord works through just one conversation. You can have all kinds of things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Dom. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on to my podcast, and I appreciate you so much. I just want to tell the people, have faith, show love, give hope, let go, and let God.
Amen.
That's it.